Consider a time when gods walked among men and heroes were born of divine bloodlines. This is the age of Gilgamesh. This great king, two-thirds god and one-third human, ruled over the majestic city of Uruk. His knowledge was vast, his strength unmatched, and his kingdom, a testament to his grandeur, boasted high walls and exquisite mason work. Yet within these walls, a tale of oppression unfolded. Gilgamesh, in his youth and power, ruled with an iron fist. His people, crushed under his harsh regime, cried out in despair. Their pleas reached the ears of the sky god Anu, the chief deity of the city. They yearned for relief, for a champion who could stand up to their tyrant king. And so, in response to their desperate cries, Anu conceived a plan. Far from the city, in the wild forests surrounding Gilgamesh's lands, Anu created a being of raw power and primitive instinct. This was Enkidu, a wild man, as untamed as the beasts he lived among. His strength rivaled that of dozens of wild animals, a stark contrast to the refined might of Gilgamesh. Enkidu was wild, yes, but he was also free. Free from the constraints of civilization, free from the rule of a king. He was to be the people's answer to Gilgamesh's tyranny, their beacon of hope against the oppressive king. Yet, as different as they were, Enkidu and Gilgamesh shared a common thread. Both were extraordinary, both existed on the fringes of humanity, caught between the world of gods and men. One, a king who knew nothing of moderation, the other, a wild man who knew nothing of civilization. Together, they were destined to create a story that would outlive them both. Out of the wild, a rival to the mighty Gilgamesh was born. A man of strength and wildness, a man named Enkidu. In the harsh wilderness surrounding Uruk, a new force emerged, a primal force named Enkidu. Born of the sky god Anu's will, Enkidu was a wild man, a being of brute strength, embodying the untamed power of the wilderness. His might rivaled that of dozens of wild animals, and he was destined to be a counterweight to the superhuman Gilgamesh. One day, a trapper's son, wandering through the forest, stumbled upon Enkidu. Imagine his surprise, seeing a man running wild with the animals, his body as naked as the day he was born. The son hurried home to his father, recounting the strange sight. The father, wise and experienced, came up with a plan. He sent his son back to the city to fetch Shamhat, a temple harlot. Shamhat, chosen for her beauty and allure, was tasked with a mission unlike any other. She was to meet Enkidu at the watering hole, a place where wild animals congregated, and offer herself to him. The trapper believed that if Enkidu submitted to Shamhat, he would lose his wild strength and become more human. And so, it came to pass. Shamhat met Enkidu at the watering hole and offered herself to him. Enkidu, enticed by her beauty, submitted to her, and in that instant, a transformation took place. He lost his wild strength, but gained something far more valuable: understanding and knowledge. From a wild beast, Enkidu was becoming a man. Enkidu mourned his lost state, his connection with the wild, but Shamhat, wise in her own right, comforted him. She promised to lead him to the city, to the dazzling wonders of civilization. More importantly, she promised to introduce him to Gilgamesh, the only man she believed was worthy of Enkidu's newfound friendship. The wild man was no more. In his place stood Enkidu, a man of understanding and knowledge, prepared to meet civilization and its king. While Enkidu was being transformed, Gilgamesh was visited by prophetic dreams. As the king of Uruk, Gilgamesh was no stranger to the mysteries of the divine. Yet, these dreams were unlike any he had experienced before. In his first dream, a meteorite, fiery and colossal, plummeted from the heavens, embedding itself in the earth. Despite his immense strength, Gilgamesh found himself unable to lift or even turn this celestial stone. The people of Uruk gathered around this spectacle, celebrating its arrival. Gilgamesh, drawn by an inexplicable connection, embraced the meteorite as if it were his wife. Yet his mother, the goddess Rimat Ninsun, urged him to compete with it, to challenge its undeniable force. In the second dream, an axe of such magnitude, appeared at Gilgamesh's door. Like the meteorite, it was beyond his power to move or manipulate. Again, the people rejoiced around this awe-inspiring object. Again, Gilgamesh felt an intimate bond with the axe, embracing it as he would a spouse. And again, his mother, Rimat Ninsun, pushed him to contest its formidable presence. Confused and intrigued, Gilgamesh sought the wisdom of his divine mother. What could these strange dreams signify? Rimat Ninsun, with the insight of a goddess, interpreted the dreams as a prophecy. A man of enormous strength and vigor was destined to enter Uruk. This man, she foretold, would become as dear to Gilgamesh as a wife. Together, they would accomplish great deeds, their names echoing through eternity. The dreams stirred a sense of anticipation within Gilgamesh. He yearned for this prophesied companion, this equal who could match his strength and share in his glory. Little did he know, his dreams were about to manifest in the form of the wild man, Enkidu, who was, at that very moment, shedding his beastly nature and stepping into the realm of civilization. Gilgamesh was unaware that the man from his dreams was closer than he thought. The paths of the king and the wild man were about to cross in an encounter that would change their lives forever. Emerging from the wilderness, Enkidu, no longer a feral beast but a man, found himself amongst a group of shepherds. They took him in, taught him how to tend flocks, how to eat properly, how to speak coherently, and even how to dress in the fashion of men. Civilization was no longer a distant concept for Enkidu, but a reality he was gradually embracing, like a seed sprouting into a tree. As Enkidu's understanding of civilization grew, so did his steps lead him towards the city of Uruk. The city, in the midst of a grand celebration, was a spectacle of human grandeur. It was here that Enkidu's path was destined to cross with that of King Gilgamesh. As was custom, Gilgamesh, the mighty king, claimed the right to be the first to bed every new bride on her wedding day. As Gilgamesh was about to exercise this right, Enkidu, the very embodiment of raw, untamed strength, stood in the king's way. The sight of the king's abuse of authority infuriated Enkidu, leading him to block the door of the bridal chamber. The tension was palpable. The wild man and the king, two titans of strength, were set on a collision course. A fierce battle ensued, shaking the foundations of Uruk. Each blow was like the clash of two colossal boulders echoing through the city. But finally, Gilgamesh, mustering all his God-given strength, gained the upper hand. In the face of defeat, Enkidu acknowledged Gilgamesh's superiority, but rather than animosity, a sense of respect and admiration filled Enkidu, and Gilgamesh, recognizing the strength and courage of the wild man, saw in Enkidu a worthy companion. The two embraced, their rivalry melting away to pave the path for a bond stronger than any known to mankind. From a fierce battle, a bond stronger than any was born. Gilgamesh and Enkidu, once rivals, became companions, ready to face whatever lay ahead. With their rivalry behind them, Gilgamesh and Enkidu stood side by side, ready for the adventures that awaited them. It was a moment of profound transformation. No longer were they opponents, but comrades, bound by their shared strength and a newfound respect for each other. The city of Uruk breathed a sigh of relief as its king Gilgamesh found a companion in Enkidu, the wild man turned friend. Their friendship was an unusual one, a bond formed in the crucible of conflict. It was the kind of friendship that only heroes of such epic tales could understand. Enkidu, once a creature of the wild, now stood shoulder to shoulder with Gilgamesh, the ruler of Uruk and a being of divine descent. Their shared experiences had shaped them, prepared them for the adventures that lay ahead. In many ways, this was their true beginning. Before, they were two separate entities, each existing in his own world. But now, they were a team, a force to be reckoned with, ready to take on the world together. Their past struggles were mere prologue to the epic journey that was to unfold. From that point on, they embarked on numerous adventures, their friendship deepening with each challenge they faced. They wrestled with mythical beasts, clashed with gods, and even dared to confront the very forces of nature. Their exploits echoed throughout Uruk, their names whispered with reverence and awe. The tale of Gilgamesh and Enkidu is more than just a story of friendship and adventure. It is a testament to the human spirit, a celebration of the resilience that lies within us all. It tells us that even the greatest of kings and the wildest of men can find common ground, can come together to face the trials of life. Their journey was filled with moments of triumph, of heartbreak, of incredible courage. It was a journey that would take them to the ends of the earth and beyond, testing their mettle at every turn. Together, they would face beasts, gods, and the very forces of nature. This was just the beginning of their epic tale.